Good afternoon, all of you. I hope all of you are taking care of yourself at your homes. Uh, Thank you, Entab, for inviting me today to share my thoughts as a part of your EdTalk series. Before I start sharing my thoughts and concerns with you, the present situation reminds me of two lines, which I'll share with you. मांगते थे खुदा से मांगते थे खुदा से फुर्सत की दुआ कभी सोचा ना था ऐसा हो जाएगा. So the onslaught of COVID pandemic has taken the entire world by storm. It has brought the life to grinding halt. We are really in an unusual and unprecedented situation. And dear friends, as you all know, unprecedented and extraordinary situations need extraordinary effort. Out-of-box approach, creative thinking, robust planning, and much more. No doubt, COVID has thrown life out of gear, but it all depends on us how to make the best out of the present situation. Let's be at peace and now not allow ourselves to get into pieces. Let's respond to the situation and not react to it. Let's practice patience. Let's practice silence. Let's spread love, affection, and happiness. Let's practice purity, simplicity, compassion. Let's discover ourselves and reinvent the wheel. That's what my topic of discussion here today is: how to reinvent the wheel. What needs to be done? Talking about schools and colleges, you see the present situation has brought to fore two important aspects: IT skills and soft skills. As we all know, we are in Industrial Revolution 4.0, which is also Education 2.0. In our IR 4.0, the literacy doesn't mean IT literacy doesn't mean being certified, having degrees. Literacy means IT literacy. Literacy means how we can independently manage our work, how we can tide over situations like this. Friends, this is just a physical lockdown. Just imagine there was a communication lockdown. There was no internet. There was no Google. What would have happened? What would have happened to 1.4 billion students is as many as 198 countries? What would have happened to 340 million students in India itself? I must express my gratitude to the unsung heroes. We understand that out of our frontline COVID warriors like doctors, paramedical staff, government functionaries, police, I think teachers have also played an extremely important role during present days. They have actually ensured that all these 340 million students in India, they are making the best utilization of their time. So thank you all, thank you teachers, thank you principals. So in the present circumstances, I was talking about that, we need to expertise technology. We need to understand that what all needs to be done to come out of the situation. So we need to actually dive deep into this vast ocean of technology and re-strategize, restructure, reboot, and reinvent the wheel. I often, when I'm talking to people, they ask me, in general discussions, what is the purpose of education? What are schools meant for? And I always used to say, that whatever we teach the children in the school from kindergarten to grade 12 in terms of curriculum or subject knowledge, whatever we teach the child as a part of their academic aspect, the subject knowledge we give, if we subtract the entire subject knowledge and the curriculum aspect from the child's personality at the end of grade 12, whatever is left with the child is what education is. And that is where we need to focus today. We need to focus on their life skills. We need to focus on their IT skills. We need to dismiss their fears. We need to make them more confident. And I'm sure all of us, we are doing it. So, how do we reinvent the wheel? How do we prepare ourselves for what is going to happen next? As I discussed with you earlier, there is no clarity when the schools will reopen. There's a lot of anxiety and uncertainty all around. But this is the time, where all the leaders, where all the principals, all the managements, we need to go into huddle. We need to start planning, making the blueprint. We need to start, redesigning our academic programs. We need to go back to the drawing board. We need to be prepared ourselves that the schools might open in August, the schools might open in September, or before that. In some of the countries like Denmark, New Zealand, Finland, and surprisingly even in China, in some of the countries the schools have already opened, and some countries are planning to open the schools and educational institutions by the end of this month. So entire thing, from academic restructuring to the administrative aspect to the financial management, it requires a lot of in-depth planning. The more prepared we are, the more we are able to understand the situation and plan the things in advance. I think the lesser problems we'll be facing later. So first of all, talking about the academic restructuring, I think the entire curriculum, we have been receiving a lot of information from various examining bodies, NCRT, CBSE, and other boards regarding the changes in the curriculum. I think the schools, they have to start, discussing this point with their academic teams that, how do we, plan the curriculum. I don't think, schools will be able to have the events as they might have planned in the beginning of the session. So the entire academic planner needs to be, reshaped. We might not be able to have many holidays. We don't even know whether the children will be coming to the school regularly, or they'll be coming once a week or twice a week, or whether the schools will be working in shifts. So we need to consider all permutations and combinations, and see what best can be done once the schools, they resume operations. Even the assessment has to be, redesigned. We have to go back to the, entire examination process. We might have to switch over to total online mode of examination. So the entire academic restructuring, has to be designed and considered. We have to, like parents, as we all know, they are concerned about the academic performance of the children or learning of the children, especially the parents of the students who are in senior classes, because this is one of the most important, years of their life, especially those who are in grade 12. So we need to consider their all anxieties, their fears. We have to, have a very, very strong communication with the parents, with the students. It's not just about providing online education and academic resources. So we need to, talk to them. We need to make them understand the situation, and we need to, reassure them that, look, whatever the situation is, we are here to help you out. So we are planned with it. So all the schools, they need to go back to the drawing board and look into all the academic aspects. And I'm sure most of the schools, they are making the best of efforts to provide online education and resources, whatever platform they might be using. So some of the schools are using Microsoft Teams, some are using Google Classrooms, and some are using their own ERP. And as we know, Entab, which has provided us this platform to interact with each other here today, it's also one of the best, platforms in India. So, other than the academic restructuring, we have to look into a lot of administrative aspects. The parents, they are really concerned that once the children they go back to the school, whether they'll be safe right from their transportation to the school. How they'll be arriving to the school. Will all of them be coming by the school buses the way they were coming before, or maybe we have to have a kind of a one seat one child now, whether the parents will be dropping the children to the school. So the entire transport mechanism has to be looked into, followed by the arrival of the students in the school. I mean, different schools have different infrastructure, different exit and entry points. So, what kind of planning needs to be undertaken that to ensure that the children, the social distancing is maintained, how to sanitize the children, keeping in view all the safety aspects issued by the WHO and ICMR. How do we sanitize the students? Schools will need more hand washing stations. School will need more drinking water points. So the entire arrival dispersal process of the children, it has to be reworked on. So followed by morning assemblies. I don't think we'll be able to have morning assemblies the way the schools were conducting earlier. So the schools can have their own assemblies through the centralized broadcasting systems. Earlier we were asking the children the to do practice of sharing and caring. I don't think they'll be able to meet and greet their friends the way they were doing before. I don't think they'll be able to share their tiffins with the friends during recess. Even in fact, the entire layout in the classrooms needs to be redesigned. Again, depending upon in what form and when the schools will reopen. So all the schools, colleges, universities, they have to start looking into it. Fine, it should not happen that we are caught unprepared, like it happened in the lockdown. Many of us, we were not prepared for it. So now's the time, to do the entire restructuring and to have a robust planning in place and to be prepared for any kind of an eventuality. So how the classrooms will be, how the arrival and dispersal process of the children will be, whether they'll be going to the libraries, whether they'll be going to the labs or practicals, how much hours they'll be able to spend in the schools. Fine. So all these factors we have to start, thinking about. Even the housekeeping operations, we have to ensure that all the buildings, they are disinfected. We have to boost up the housekeeping operations. Proper sanitization has to be done at a regular intervals. Fine, all the surfaces have to be cleaned regularly. So how to train the housekeeping staff, what kind of equipment and material will be required, because all these mind questions must be there. Not only parents might be thinking about, even the staff member, because you see this is such an issue where like it can affect anybody. Fine, even during the time of arrival, will be required to screen the students and the staff members. Those who are unwell, how to identify. Sometimes the children themselves, the parents are not even aware that the child is unwell. We get to know only when the child comes to the school. So what kind of systems we have to put in place to ensure that no child or no visitor or no teacher or no official who's unwell or who's affected is allowed to come to the school. So whether the children, they'll be going to the playground. So if they are not able to go for sports or other activities like music, like dance, like what they were doing before. So whether the children will be able to do that. If not, I mean, there's a lot of possibility of them feeling like low about it. So our counselors have to be checked into. They have to talk to the children. They have to provide them know-how. They have to kind of talk to them about the situation. Fine. Even I was talking, we have to consider the possibility of bringing both the preventions about the corona and the background of the corona as a part of the school curriculum. The children need to know about it. That why this is the situation, what all needs to be done, how they can take care of themselves. I mean, not to shake hands with their friends. I mean, these are small little precautions we have to guide the students about. So after housekeeping, we have to look into all the security aspects. Fine. We have to look into the human resource aspect, how to have the effective utilization of all the staff members. We might have to cross train them. I mean, we have to chip in more of a people in the administrative and process. We'll be requiring more people in the IT department, in the ERP department, and there might be some of the staff members like in post-scholastic areas, sports and other activities, where we might not be able to allow the children to participate. So they have to, I mean, be utilized in some other area. So entire human resource planning has to be done by the institutions. So even financial management, how to cut down on the expenses which are avoidable. Fine. Whether to allow the students to come with the school bags the way they were coming before, or they'll be coming just with their iPads on other devices. So we need to evolve a system where I mean pre-hand we are able to look into all these aspects. And I think in times to come, as what is happening in the present times, all the stakeholders and especially the parents will also have to play a very important role. While while the teachers, they'll be becoming a kind of a content creators. The parents also have to become facilitators. Fine, they need to ensure that the students are not going with overboard as far as technology is concerned. There is no misuse of internet at home. So parents also need to be very extremely cautious, and we might not be able to have the parent teacher meeting or parent partnership programs the way we were having before. So we might have to go on to the virtual PTMs. So I don't think in a very near future the schools will be able to resume their normal operations. So we have to be very cautious, and we have to be very well planned, right from the academic aspect to the administrative aspect to the psychological aspect to the financial aspect, and taking all the factors in mind, taking all the preventive measures into mind. So like talking about the academic aspect, we might not be able to go back to the same classroom teaching. Fine, the schools will have to ensure that there is a lot of seamless and a cohesive approach, and a mixture of a flip model of learning to the blending model of the learning, with recorded lectures to the live lectures, juxtaposed with the classroom teaching, sending assignments, what kind of evaluation and assessment we'll be doing. So I mean, one thing is sure, things are not going to be same again. So we have to be very well prepared for it. We have to kind of reboot ourselves. The schools, the colleges, the universities, they have to bring in a lot of technological equipments, if they have not put the system in place before. We had, 2 years before started introduced the system of bring your own device, wherein every teacher was asked to bring their own laptops or a tablets or a smartphones. Fine. Had we not done it, some time ago, I mean, the teacher would have faced a lot of problem in operating from home, making videos, editing videos, using all these platforms. So there's a lot of effort which will be required on the training of teachers. Most of them are trained, but still, I mean, wherever they require hand holding and guidance and training, so there has to be a system for the training. We have to even train the students. We have to give them all the cyber security tips. Fine, there can be some unprecedented repercussions of using technology. So we have to be very, very mindful of what we are doing, what needs to be done. I mean, we need to train the parents also. Fine, even like you must have heard lot of apprehensions about using various online meeting platforms, that your secrecy or your data or a lot of things being compromised. So we have to be well aware of all these aspects. We have to learn from some other countries, like Finland, Denmark, those who already opened the schools. So what kind of systems they have brought in place to ensure that the seamless learning is also there and the children are safe in the school. So this is the time for all of us to put our minds together, to look into all the aspects, from the administrative aspect, from the academic aspect, from the security aspect, from the hygiene aspect. What kind of changes we might have to bring into the school infrastructure. As I said that, right from the screening of the people at the entrance of the school to the need of, restructuring the entire housekeeping operations, to introducing, more hand washing stations, fine, more drinking water points, restructuring the layout of furniture within the classrooms, regulating the entire movement of the students, teachers, the support staff within the school. So there is a task at our hands. So keeping all the aspects in mind, just to ensure that the learning never stops, the schools are safe once they resume operations. I mean, all the concerns of parents are looked into. The staff is comfortable. Fine. We have to, bring into system to not only to train our staff and teachers, we need to have a system in place to ensure their well-being, the motivation. So how to do this entire process? So we need robust planning. We need to put in all the standard operating procedures in place. We need to, re-strategize and restructure and reinvent. That is what we need to do. Fine. Though online education is not new to India, many schools they already resorted to the flip model of learning, the blended model of learning. But this situation, as I used to say, always that we need to either we digitize or perish. So the importance of technology, I mean, we need to understand it is here to stay. I mean, virtual classrooms are not just plug and play. So the entire, system, right from the delivery of online lessons, it's like continuity to the class, back to the home, fine, the assignments, the evaluation, the online examination, fine. So the entire link needs to be reviewed in the best interest of the children. Fine. So all the administrative processes have to be put in place. Fine. Whatever instructions come from various examining boards, whenever I'm sure the government allows the educational institutions to start functioning, there'll be a lot of regulations which will come along with that. So we'll have to keep all those instructions and regulations in mind. Fine. But this is the time for all the leaders, for all the principals, for all the managements, to prove their mettle. It's going to be survival of the fittest. The better prepared we are, fine, the easier will be it for us to, handle and tide over the entire crisis, the situation. And I'm sure, I'm very, very sanguine. I'm hopeful that this is, though it's a kind of a long-term crisis, but I'm sure that our scientists, our doctors, our research scholars around all over the world, they're working, and very soon they'll be able to find a solution to this entire problem. I'm sure very soon, there'll be some kind of a vaccine or antidote for this disease, for this virus. So till that time, let's be patient. Let's not only rediscover and reboot. Let's reconnect also. I'm sure that during these present times, I've been talking to a lot of teachers. I've spoken to during the last few days almost 500 teachers. They're happy. They're happy because they feel they are more closer to the students and parents. So that's what the silver lining is. It's a kind of blessings in disguise. The principals have become more closer to teachers. The teachers have become more closer to the parents. The families have become more closer to each other. So let's see the positive aspect of the situation. At least we are all able to connect with each other. I'm able to share my thoughts with all of you. So there are a lot of, positive aspect of this entire situation. Let's be positive. Let's not, get affected by the situation in any way. Let's prepare ourselves well. And my word to the teachers also, you are doing a wonderful job. Fine. It's time, to reinforce our trust into each other. For the parents, all the stakeholders, parents, students, principals, teachers, it's time, to repose our faith into each other. It's time to be positive. It's not the time to find faults into anything. That is how we'll be able to tide over the entire problem. So let's be resolute. Let's exhibit resilience. Fine. And, above all, I think we need to guide the students, to build a very, very strong immune system. We need to guide them, the entire, like the tiffins have to change. Fine. So all the schools, even parents at home, since, like we are all, the children are kind of, uh, center to all our discussion here today. So we need to handhold, guide, diminish their fears, redress their anxieties and concerns, handhold them, right from the boosting their immune system to handholding them to whatever best way they can learn, to guide them to read a lot. So a lot of things, which can be done, and not to forget, I see a lot of videos, being shared by my colleagues, my friends, children, parents. They have suddenly rediscovered a lot of their latent talents. People who had never come on the screen, they are sharing their videos. People are dancing, people are singing. So I'm sure the rosy days will be back soon. We'll be able to interact, meet, greet, work together. The life will be back, what it was before COVID-19. So till that time, whatever effort, whatever we need to prepare. So let's be focused. As I said, let's be at peace. Let's not allow ourselves to get into pieces. Fine, let's rediscover ourselves and let's reinvent the wheel. So I'm very, very happy that I've been able to share all my thoughts which are coming to my mind these days. And I wish and pray that all of you maintain a good health. All of you remain blessed in your spirits. All of you make the most productive utilization of your time. For all the students, the learning has to go on. Fine. Listen to your parents, understand the situation. Fine. There is no need to panic. There is no need to be alarmed. Fine. So let's just pause and rediscover ourselves. Let's see what best can be done during the COVID-19 times, and I'm sure we are going to come much more stronger, out of this situation sooner than later. So my best wishes to all of you, and stay at home, follow all the norms, stay happy, continue learning, identify your all the talents, share a lot of affection, happiness with each other, reconnect with your old friends, and let's make the best out of this time. God bless, stay happy. Thank you very much. All the best.